Hi traders, this is Chris from Elite Currency. Of course, this video again taking a look at the euro dollar and pound dollar for today and tomorrow. Alright, let's start with the euro dollar is moving lower as expected finally. Last week was basically kind of a rising wedge or a channel. Price breaking through that channel last week Friday with a good strong 4-hour candle. So, trading opportunities could have been upon this retracement. As we discussed already before, these fibs should hold. That was setup number one. Setup number two, basically the breakout candle right here. That's something we also discussed in the webinar and also in ECS Live. If you want to join, of course, feel free to do so. And we're in that setup right now. Both trades should be above these kind of resistance levels right here, right? Above these tops and these highs. That's where the stop loss should be, I think, at this moment. Now, at this point, we get a continuation, 115.75. I think that for the moment, there could be a continuation all the way down to 115. If we get there today, we'll have to see. It also depends a little bit on the ATR. Euro dollar is a bit low probably at this moment considering this big choppiness. So it might maybe make a dash to 115.50, 115.25, and then continue to 115 later this week. What could happen, let's take a look at the 1-hour chart, is that, or maybe even 50-minute chart for the moment, is that there could be some kind of bull flag or bear flag, correction, or some kind of correction here, pattern, triangle, rising wedge, perhaps even up to, well, we broke, of course, this morning. I wasn't in time to make this video for this break, but there was already a kind of a consolidation pattern like this, and there was a break of that. And I think that it could maybe go halfway that, for instance. This is not a guarantee, of course, nothing is in the Forex market. But 115.90, for instance, could be an interesting level to look for a bounce if there's a good pattern. Very important in this story, though, is how price bounces, right? I need to see some pattern, a triangle, like price going like this, for instance, like that. Or if price makes a zigzag, then I do need to see some kind of move down and a flag like this, and then a break, for instance, like that. Or if there is a bear flag like this, for instance, that's fine too, right? Some pattern that indicates that this is not a strong reversal to the upside. And then the 50 fib, roughly speaking, should hold. So that's something for today's Tuesday trading. With regard to swing trading, I think probably just looking or intraday swing, just looking for a good candle close here would be pleasant, not too big of a wick. If that happens, then a retracement halfway this candle with a stop loss, above this candle high should work out okayish, I think, or maybe even above this top with that target at 115 in mind. 115 minus 272 target, but also, as you can see, a 38.2 fib. So there's big confluence at that zone, and that's where I will be keeping an eye on bullish candlestick patterns on the daily chart to see if there could be a move up, all right? Because if we get a good pattern there, a good candlestick pattern on the daily chart, that this could be a zone to be careful of, because this could be an end of wave 4 potentially, and that could be a pretty interesting bouncing spot. So, still in a downtrend, but definitely keeping an eye myself on that 115 support zone, and primarily looking for those candlestick patterns to confirm it. So let's see how this candle closes. Let's see how it retraces, and if it does do it properly, there could be a small little continuation from 116, 115.90, 115.85-ish down to that 115, 114.80, 115.25 area. All right. So that could happen today, later this week. And as I said, if you're watching this video tomorrow or maybe even later, keep an eye on this 115 zone and keep an eye if there are bullish candlestick patterns there, all right? So from a bigger time frame perspective, this is how it's looking like. Let me get rid of this fib now. And all right, there we go. And you can see why that could be a bouncing spot. Long-term moving average, 38.2 fib. Strong uptrend on this one, as you can see. So, all right, there we go. And so I wouldn't be surprised if today's daily candle ends up somewhere around here, as you can see, with a strong close near the low, maybe a little bit of retracement tomorrow, and then one more push and then maybe tomorrow's candle or Thursday candle has some wick at the bottom, and that could indicate that this is potentially in a bouncing spot. All right, we can connect these resistances and these lows like this, and if it does bounce at 115.20 and then retraces up to 115.70 again and then moves down like this, then in the meantime it is kind of building a falling wedge. Now this is looking at future patterns, so I'm not sure if this is really going to work out. As I say, it's a little bit, looking a bit down the road, and that's always more difficult. But if it does something like that, it could indicate a reversal, increase the chance of a reversal at the 38.2 fib, because a falling wedge, of course, is a reversal chart pattern, and that could indicate the bounce as I discussed. Let's take a look at the pound USD. That is a little bit more complicated story than the euro dollar, and we've been monitoring this one for a while, and it's not an easy one to crack. The 50 fib, for the moment, providing that resistance spot, and we didn't get a break here. We actually got a bounce, and price is stopping at 50 fib. So for those that were adventurous, maybe trading this turn, I did trade the turn on the pound, but I just took it against the CAD, which didn't work out too well, and I had a small loss on that for a few pips, about maybe 40% of the risk, because I closed it I closed it later on for a smaller loss, not a full loss. That's what I mean. Pound dollar is working actually a little bit better, right? You can see that the turn so far providing some good space to the downside. So anyone who took that pound dollar break did a better job than the pound CAD break. There was also a bullish break yesterday, in fact, from this trend line up to the 50 fib. That was a good trade too. From this perspective, this is something that we also discussed on ECS Live as well. So the 4-hour chart, I think, still could be bearish. If we get a good 4-hour candle here, it might be worth taking an attempt on this pound dollar. I think it's, generally speaking, still on the riskier side, just because it's in such a huge choppiness. And also look at that very strong daily candle. So actually, when I look at this daily candle, I forgot about it. It is a bit risky to short it, in fact, despite the fact that it bounces at the 50 fib. Also, don't forget the support trend line is still not broken. No, I'm still on the sidelines. It's just two mixed signals for me, and want to see more clarity. I think definitely if today's bearish, today's daily candle would be a bearish candle like this, and we have engulfing twins, and it closes below this support level here and below 130, I guess, 130.40. Yeah, that would change things for later this week. If for whatever reason, I don't know, we see throughout the day, we see some strong momentum and a bull flag, I'm maybe some continuation here as well, still possible within this kind of uptrend channel. But all in all, it is very choppy on this pound dollar. So probably just still rather wait for more info on this particular pair. You can see on a 15-minute chart that it's actually bouncing off the long-term moving average. So I think that for the moment, this was maybe a good breakout trade right here, but now it could be at support again. So just waiting for more info on the pound dollar for the moment. All right, check out elitecurrency.com for more analytics, more free material as well. And of course, check out our ECS Live as well. All right, there's a special page at the top of the website. Wish you all good trading. Talk to you soon. Cheers.